What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference met up last night: the Chicago Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are the defending NBA champion. The Chicago Bulls are the upstarts that have surprised the league and have been atop of the Eastern Conference for a little while now. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks were able to come away with a 94-90 victory. And, this particular game could remind people of the NBA of maybe 15 to 20 years ago. It was a low scoring affair. The mid range was prominently fixtured in this particular contest. Um, and, the shooting. The shooting was not good on either side. Both teams shot below 40% overall. They did not shoot the three very well at all. I guess if you want to say an edge that was made in this particular game, because turnovers were kind of even. Like I said, both teams didn't shoot very well. The Bucks had a slight edge in rebounding. I think the edge would be points in the paint. Milwaukee had 42 points in the paint. The Bulls had 20, and that is just another indication of how this team needs a more dominant power forward to complement uh, Vucevic. And, you know, that's something that the Bulls desperately need if they want to make a championship run this season. Um, Also, I think that you could put some fault on Billy Donovan for going with Kobe White maybe a little bit too long than he should have in this particular game. Shout out to Victor for pointing that out. That's a good point. Um, I mean, look, but when you consider the fact that they didn't have, Lonzo Ball and Zach Levine, even though the Bulls are losing some games right now, um, you can really make an argument that if the Bulls were fully staffed or if they had their better players, more of their better players, they could have won tonight. But that's woulda, coulda, shouldas. The Bucks continue to beat the better teams, and I think they improved to 29-19 on the year. That's not the best record that we've seen with the Milwaukee Bucks over the last couple of seasons. But when you consider all of the things that have gone wrong with this team this year, as far as with injuries, uh, Brooke Lopez is nowhere near being able to return. They've had issues with the outbreak and not having players available. At the end of the day, when you look at their record, it's not that bad. It could be a lot worse. Now, Giannis was great as normal, as he usually is. He had 30 points to go along with 12 rebounds. And, Giannis, he's just one of the most underrated players in the NBA, man. And that's hard to imagine considering that he's the reigning NBA Finals MVP and an NBA champion. But he is incredibly underrated, man. It makes no sense how underrated he is as a player. And, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. But DeMar DeRozan led all scorers with 35 points. Now, for me personally, I think DeMar DeRozan is taking a little hit as far as being an MVP candidate. He's still in that conversation, but I don't think flying as high as he did, say, 2 weeks ago. He's still in that conversation. There's a lot of good teams in the NBA this year. The league has been, in my opinion, even though I'm not a huge fan, as you guys know, of the way they play the game today, you have to admit, though, that competition in the NBA is much different than it was just 5 years ago. It's a lot of teams that are rising, and that's a good thing. My favorite era of the NBA, by the way, my favorite era. I wasn't alive then, but my favorite era upon research is the 1970s. It was just the most competitive era. There were no repeat champions. 1970, the Knicks were the champion. The next year was the Bucks. The next year was the Lakers. The next year it was the Knicks again. The next year was the Celtics. The next year it was the upstart Warriors. The next year was Boston. And you think they might be having a little dynasty? Nope. The next year it was the Blazers. They looked like they were going to have a dynasty, but unfortunately, when they had a 50-10 record, Bill Walton got hurt. So then the next year, it was the late blooming Washington Bullets. And then to cap off the decade, it was the Seattle Supersonics. So, I like that. I like competition. I like seeing fresh faces, not seeing the media ad nauseum talk about the same goddamn. Well, they are doing that, aren't they? But anyway, that's all I got to say about this game, man. The Bulls, I think they'll still be okay. They're missing some pieces. The Bulls desperately need another power forward, but Milwaukee got it done. Tell me what you guys think.